Hi soul family, welcome to another episode of Remember Who the Fuck You Are So the Game Can Change. Today we're talking about relationships, friendships, and just the evolution of that. We talk about and touch on narcissists and friendships that are just one-sided, and what to expect during your opening up of your spiritual awakening, and where friendships lie within that. So if that is something that you're interested in and you're like, oh yeah, stay tuned and hit the subscribe button. Remember who the fuck you are so the game can change. The podcast that is here to shake things up, to step you up, and to guide you back to your true self. I'm your host, Kira Marie, founder of Kira Marie Divinely Guided and Ascension School. This is your space for real talk, deep soul truth, and practical guidance to help you rise, transform, and remember the divine magic that you have within you already. Whether you're here to heal, grow, or simply be inspired, it is time to remember who the fuck you are. Because once you do, you'll see how the game can really change. If you're ready to remember, hit subscribe. Follow me on socials, Kira Marie Divinely Guided and Ascension School. Share this with someone who needs it, and let's rise together. This is just the beginning. Hi soul family, welcome to another episode. Thank you for joining me, and welcome to those who are new. So for those who don't know, I'm Kira Marie, founder of Kira Marie Divinely Guided and Ascension School, and this beautiful and amazing podcast, Remember Who the Fuck You Are So the Game Can Change. So I just want to talk to you about friendships and our spiritual journey and what can come of that. And if you are struggling with friendships, then stay tuned, this episode's for you. Okay, my loves, so friendships, right? I don't know about you, but for me, I have had just a handful of friendships along my journey. I've known a lot of people, and I have had, when you think about it, acquaintances, so many. And you may be the same, because when we are empaths, we attract people, and people come to our light and our energy, and they want to be able to be in our presence, which is amazing and lovely. But then also can have the other side of the coin as well. So what I found in my journey is that I've had best friends that I thought were best friends, but you know those ones where you're making all the effort, you're inviting them to things, or you're making the effort to go to their house, or if they live or you live in different states, then you're the one flying there, and you're the one driving there, and you're the one making the phone calls, and just keeping the friendship going. I know in my journey that I come to the realization of this, and I'm like, hang on a minute, like, I'm the one doing all the work here. I wonder what would happen if I stopped. I wonder what happened if I stopped going to their house, if I stopped traveling to their state, if I stopped making those phone calls, if I stopped inviting them out, then what would happen? And sure enough, communication stopped. They didn't, it was almost a bit of a test, to be honest, where I thought, okay, where I thought, if this is actually a true friendship, then they will then realise and go, I haven't seen Kira for a while, maybe I'll go visit her, or I'll book a trip to go see her, or I'll pick up the phone and invite Kira, or but unfortunately that didn't happen, and it wasn't meant to happen. So I come to the realization that for pretty much all of my life, I have attracted people that need healing, because it's something they haven't journeyed through, or also weren't willing to do. And they had a similar pattern of unhealed parents and traumatic upbringing in whatever realm that turned out to be. And unbeknownst to me, I attracted them, and I also probably seek them out because they gave me something that I was looking for because of my parents and their parents. So there's a term that's flying around quite a bit right now, which is narcissists. And that to me is just purely someone who is stuck in their trauma, not willing to do the work, and has learnt how to deal with that, just unfortunately in a really unhealthy way. And if you think about narcissists, where they are quite controlling and they are very manipulative and they are their way or the highway, and they isolate you and they control you, and they also then flip and give you and make you feel like you're the most important person, and then make you feel like you're also not. And then you kind of in that confused state of like, hang on a minute, like, but they were, no, was it me? Or was it them? And that is just, if you think about it, that is kids. That is 2-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds. So it just means that they are stuck in those patterns that they got away with, and it worked, or they saw their parents doing it, so then it worked, so then they just kept following it and kept doing it and kept doing it, and then would teach their kids to do it, and so forth and so forth. So I felt, realised the end of 2024 that my husband too was a narcissist, or had tendencies, and his parents. But then when I gave my husband almost an ultimatum of, hey, I've let go of a lot of friends because it wasn't healthy, and we'd also stepped away from his family because they too weren't healthy and weren't willing. It wasn't so much, I mean, yes, their ways of dealing with things weren't healthy, but it was more to the point that they just weren't willing to do any work. They weren't willing to heal. They weren't willing to confront. They weren't willing to talk about it. They weren't willing to accept responsibility. So we had stepped away from my husband's family. I had stepped away from my dad, my brothers as well, and stepped away from quite a few friends as well, and friendships that just weren't serving me and weren't healthy either. And then it just got to the point where my husband and I were at this crossroads, and it was either he need to step up and do his work, or we go our separate ways. And he decided to do his work, which was amazing and completely commendable, and so unbelievably amazing. And just now the dynamic has shifted, which is so beautiful. But what that also then made me do, by asking him to do his work and go and seek a healer and do his inner work and heal the trauma that he had when he was growing up, is that also then got and unlocked within me as to why I attract narcissists, why I attract friendships that are just one-sided, why I attract people that are quite happy just to sit there and let me do all the work in the friendship. And also why I needed to feel like, sorry, I'm just at a, my son was just doing training for AFL footy. So I thought, oh, I've had just a really cool idea. I'm just going to quickly do a podcast. And there's little puppies barking away. Keeping it raw, right? So, yeah, like the friendships that I've had they've served a purpose. So the friends that I've had in the past have served a purpose, and they've served a part of me that needed and felt safe in a friendship that was just one-sided, where I was giving all the time, that served something within me that I needed to be that good girl, and I needed to have people like me. And I remember along my spiritual journey of having the realization, I believe I went to a healer and they confirmed this for me, or spoke about it as well. I'm like, oh my goodness, I've had the same thoughts. I would mimic people when talking to them in friendships. So then they would then, and this was, I didn't even realize I was doing this until I realized I was doing this. So the way they would stand, or the way they would talk, or where they would have their hands, or the posture that they would have, I would mimic that without even realizing it, because that then automatically gave them a trust factor, that they could trust me and they could like me because they could see some similarities within me in them. So that is the things that we can do unconsciously until we start being aware of what's going on. So the way people treat us, or the way that we interact with people, and the way that we don't stand in our power, the way that we dim our light, or shy down, or make others more important than us and ourselves. So what unlocked was, because I'd asked my husband to do his work, and I have been doing my, like, so much work, that the next layer unlocked for me. And that is what healing is. It's just layers upon layers upon layers. So once you heal one aspect and you're like, oh, that's so cool, like I've got a handle on that, I'm good with that. You may think I'm done with that. I'm here to tell you you're not. Sorry to burst your bubble. But then the next layer will then come through. And then once you've got a handle on that, then the next layer will come through. So what happened was, when my husband decided to do his work, so then we could stay together and as a family unit, and that then unlocked as to why I attracted these people in my life, why I needed to have them in my life. And it come back to remembering and realizing, and also my mum coming through. She passed away when I was 23. So I've had her as an angel since then, which is a beautiful gift. And I realized, and she come through and said, Kira, like, you've done this because you saw me doing it. Because your father, my husband, was the same. He had narcissistic tendencies too. His father also had the same. And my mum's dad also had the same. So it was generational and generational and generational, that it was passed down, passed down, passed down. So my mum attracted a narcissist because her dad was a narcissist. My dad was a narcissist because his dad was a narcissist. So it's just a generational curse, almost, of unhealed trauma getting passed down and passed down. The way generational coping tools passed down, passed down, passed down, until someone is awoken enough to realize and go, oh, hang on a minute. Shoot, No, this isn't going any further. No, I can see the patterns here. I can see what's going on here. Hang on a minute, this isn't okay. Your reaction is not okay. The way you're treating me is not okay. I will no longer accept this. And it's your choice if you want to continue in this relationship or not. And that is friendships, relationships, family members, co-workers, bosses, community, no matter where in your life this will apply to. So think about in your life, whereabouts is it that it's one-way street? Whereabout is it that you're like, hang on a minute, we used to be in the same realm and we used to be having the same give and take, and now it's more just taking. It doesn't sit well with me anymore. And also the fact that we are so constantly changing and evolving. The more work we do, the more we rise, the more we step into a different frequency, the more we step into a different vibration. And for others around us to match that vibration, guess what has to happen? They have to do their work too. So when you find that friendships are just breaking apart, falling apart, there's just, when you feel like the distance between you is just shifting. And it's not that there's been a fight. It's not that there's been a big blow up. It's just that you don't think about them as often anymore. They don't think about you as often anymore. You step away, you walk away, and you go your different ways. That is because someone has done their work and the other person hasn't. Someone is doing their healing and someone isn't. And also the fact that we do have people in our lives for a season or a reason or a lifetime. So some people in our life for a lifetime, and then does not automatically make your family in for a lifetime. They do not get an automatic pass into that lifetime, even though we've been drummed into us for centuries and lifetimes that blood is thicker than water. No, it's not. No, it's not. This applies to family as well. We once thought that they were lifetimes, that was it. You put up, shut up. Doesn't matter what happened because the family, you get over it. That's not the case at all. They also can be seasonal reason. A reason in regards to they are there to help you see what you don't want to continue, what you don't want to pass on to your kids. That's not how you do it. That I see that, thank you, and I know that you did the best you could in the situation you had, but I'm choosing different because I know different. I know better. And I'm choosing better. I'm choosing different to do it differently for myself and my family and my kids. So there's a reason and there's a season. Those ones that come in for just like a few months. And they will teach you something, or you will teach them something. They are there for a special occasion. They are there for a specific reason. And then they float out again. And they will come back at some stage and float out again. And come back and float out again. And then the reasons can be an extended version of that, where they will come in for a particular phase in your life to help you evolve, or to help you grow, or to help you with your business to get that going, or to help you in a motherhood journey, or to help you go to the next step of a new job, or something along those lines. They're all there to help you, and also in turn you help them until it's time to part ways, and that's okay too. So it's really important on our journey of spiritual awakening is to notice our old friendships and just to check in if they are true friendships, if it is a give and take, not just them taking and you giving. That's not acceptable anymore, and you deserve better. And the best thing is when we let someone go, when we go, okay, look, I appreciate what we had, but it no longer serves me anymore. It no longer inspires me. It no longer lifts me. It no longer gives me value anymore. When you let them go, do you know what that happens? What that automatically does is allows them, when one door closes, another one opens, right? So that allows somebody else who is energetically more of a match for you right now, where you're at right now, to come in and take up that space. When we hold on to friendships and relationships, whether it's siblings or parents or co-workers or friendships or best friends or however it is, when we let one go, that opens up this space for someone to walk in that, to walk through that door, to meet us where we're at now. Because as I said, like, we're always evolving. When we are on our spiritual awakening, we are forever upgrading. That is just the way it is. That is just the written in stone of what happens when you start awakening. So because we're continually doing our work, because you can't go back, you can only go forward. So once you start going forward, then you need to, those around you need to meet you at your level. So if they're not doing their work, they drop off. So then the new ones who are already doing their work or at that level or above can come in and meet you where you're at and help you and inspire you and lift you. So if you're finding that you're struggling with friendships right now, know that it's fucking normal, right? It can be really isolating when you're the only one in your friendship group doing the work, and when you're aware of things differently and understand things from a different viewpoint. It can get very isolating and very lonely in awakening, because we're readjusting, we are reevaluating. What once served us may not now feel like it serves us, and what once we used to tolerate, we may now feel like we can't tolerate it. What we once allowed, we no longer cannot allow. Once that we just let things slide and let things go, and the more louder it will become that we can no longer let this go. We can no longer allow this. We can no longer say yes to it. We can no longer put ourselves last. We start getting this feeling and this moment of like, this doesn't sit well with me anymore. I don't want to keep doing this. It's not only that I can't keep doing this, I don't want to keep doing this. So if you're in any of that scenario, please know you're not alone. Please know that that is a very beautiful way to understand that you're on your journey, and that it is a normal side to your journey, that those who used to make sense no longer make sense. Those who used to be the ones you used to go to no longer are the ones you want to go to. And that's okay. You may receive some fallback. You may receive people say, oh, she just drops people, or oh, she thinks she's too good, or oh, but what about me? Like, that's not fair for me. And that's okay. That's their journey. That's their responsibility to do their work, to choose to do their work or not. And that's the thing, is that all friendships are never a death. It is just not for right now. They can choose to do their work and rise up and meet you where you're at. So it's never a never again, but it's just not right now. Until you choose to do things differently, until you choose to see things from a different perspective, until you choose to do your healing work, until you choose to rise above. So please know that you're not alone in this journey. Please know that when we do let people go, I promise you more are coming in. I promise you, your guides and your angels and your ancestors are like, yes, she's doing it. Here you go. Here's a new one. Here's a new one. There are also maybe some tests in there of the same old people, different faces, but the same people, same traits, that is testing you to go, okay, hang on a minute, this looks familiar. No, I'm not going to be stepping back into that. No, I'm not going to be allowing that. No, I'm going to choose something different. I'm going to continue to choose myself until you're at that point where you're ready to embark on a new lesson, a new journey, a new awakening, a new level, and they will bring forth those friendships. They will bring forth those soul alignments, those soul family into your life that are there to embark on that next journey with you. And the season and reasons, they can be, it doesn't have to be a couple of months, they can be years or decades. If you think back to where you've come from, I've just let go of a friend who I was friends with since I was 13, maybe even 12, maybe even, no, I think about 12. So I'm now 44. So what's that, 32 years, maybe? I think that's it. So I've just let him go because the friendship just was not serving me, and it hadn't been serving me for a very long time. And finally, I listened. Finally, I had the courage. Finally, I took the action to say, look, I'm sorry, but this friendship is no longer aligned with me. This friendship is no longer giving to me, and it hasn't for a very long time. I'm now choosing me. I'm now choosing to step away, and I'm now choosing to say goodbye. As a result of that, I'm now seeing new ones come in. I'm now seeing the space for others to replace. He served my past. They are now serving my future. And quite interesting that they are also spiritually aligned as well. So I hope this has served you well. I hope you have taken something out of this. I'd love you to leave a comment below to let me know what resonated for you, what aha moments you had, and share this with someone in your life that is going through the same thing. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this podcast, to either on the podcast platform or my YouTube, so you can stay updated for more to come. All right, my loves, thank you so much. Sending you so much love, so much light. And remember, you're fucking amazing. I love you. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode today. Remember that your power has always been within you. The moment you start trusting yourself, the whole game changes. If you love this episode, comment below or DM me on Instagram and let me know your biggest takeaway. Why not even screenshot it and tag me at Kira Marie Divinely Guided or Ascension School, and I will share your love. To find out what Spirit has in store for us for next week's episode, stay tuned and subscribe. Remember, keep rising, keep remembering, and watch the game change. Until next time, love yourself, family. Bye. It's the soundtrack to my soul's heat.